Very warm welcome to a packed Gelora Bandung Lautan Api Stadium. We are in Bandung on Java. It is the home of Persib Bandung, who have something of a football miracle that they need to perform if they overcome Ratchaburi in the round of 16 of the AFC Champions League 2. The Thai team, fourth in the Thai League last year, second this year, lead by 3 goals to nil from the first leg, meaning Persib need to win by 4 if they are to progress to the next stages. It's coolish, it's 21 degrees, but the atmosphere inside this venue is red hot. And these fans, who've had back-to-back titles to celebrate, they believe that Bandung can produce this sporting miracle. They're used to seeing their team performing miracles. They need something extra special from Federico Barba and co if they are to overcome Ratchaburi. 3-0 in the first leg. Contest that was dominated by the Spaniard Pedro Tana Placeres. He scored twice and was instrumental in the overturning of Persib Bandung, who are a point clear at the top of the Indonesian League, chasing an unprecedented 3 titles in a row. They've only ever won 4 in their history, the first back in 1994, the second 2014. And then Boyan Hoda came along and they've won back-to-back titles since then. Once after the playoff series last season on a straight league. This season, they're top of the table again. These are unprecedented times for Persib Bandung, and that is why every home match is a virtual sellout, and this one is a sellout. They believe. As for Rajaburi, well, they're having a terrific season themselves. They're second place in the standings, and they're through to the quarterfinals of the Thai FA Cup. Of course, they've made it through to the knockout stages here of the AFC Champions League 2 and put themselves in a fabulous position to progress. They're traditionally not one of the big teams in Thailand. They are a top half team regularly, but a 4th place finish last season represented their joint best ever. They're just a neat and tidy team who've got experience. They've signed good foreign players. They've got big, strong physical defenders in the likes of Thai international Jonathan Kemdi, Malaysian international Danny Ting, Gabriel Mutombo, the Congolese Frenchman, and Jesse Curran, the Australian, who can represent Philippines, who plays a right back. They're a strong team. You had Jakapan, who's got a ton of experience with Boram in the heart of midfield. To the 3 Brazilians and Pedro Tana up top, and you can see why they are a problem for any team. Their only problem is that it is a relatively small squad, so if they get involved in too many competitions, rotation might become difficult for Coach Waterwood. So far, so good this season for Ratchaburi. Captain Federico Barba prepares to lead the team out. There is Boyan Hodak, a Croat who's had a major success in Cambodia and Malaysia. He's been in this part of the world a long time. He was also an assistant coach in the Chinese league, where Shandong were runners-up. Officials predominantly from Saudi Arabia. There is VAR in the AFC Champions League 2 knockout phase, and so VAR could come into play. As the strains of the AFC anthem, the players just a little bit of time to focus once again. It is a daunting task for Bandung. They need to win by 3 goals to take us to extra time, by 4 to take an unlikely place in the next round. But this is the AFC Champions League 2, where anything is possible. We are at the home of Persib Bandung, the Indonesian champions, up against Ratchaburi from Thailand. Charge of the defending champions of this competition. defending their title this season as they are in the AFC Champions League Elite. We're looking at new territory for whichever team goes through here. Nothing is impossible is the message. AFC Champions League 2 competition anthem. And the tifo of Bojan. What an impact he has made. The atmosphere has been building up over the last hour or so. And although many of these players from Ratchaburi are experienced internationals, they will have to take it into their stride. An early goal could really set the touch paper. So Ratchaburi will be desperate to avoid that, and that indeed was what Bojan Hodak was talking about in his pre-match press conference, how an early goal might mean that the impossible is possible. This Persib Bandung side, although they won the title last year, they completely revamped their squad. And of the 11 we believe are going to be starting for today, under the auspices of Bojan, 9 were signed at the start of this season. The fact that they've been able to maintain their form and are still at the top of the standings really is quite remarkable. And the changes were made because domestic dominance is one thing, as Boram in Thailand and Johor Darul Taksim in Malaysia show. The real target for the ambitious clubs should be AFC Champions League success and AFC Champions League elite success. And that is the ambition, certainly for Persib Bandung. Here is the 11 for Persib. Just one change from the side that's well beaten 3-0. Adam Alice comes in at number 18 in midfield. On the bench, Beckham Putra, who's a regular goal scorer, and Luciano Gochera, the Argentine, drops down to the bench. Sergio Castel is another of the recent signings who is available should they be chasing a goal late on. Federico Barba has got has an average of 1 red card every 7 matches, 4 yellow cards every match. So he does tend to keep his cards in his pocket. He also refereed in the Arab Cup. As for Ratchaburi, well, they had a match at the weekend, and they've just rotated the squad a little bit, but defensively, Gabriel and Kemdi will have the job of keeping it tight. Goalkeeper Kampong has won 21 international caps, but he's only 5'10", rather short for a goalkeeper, as is Paco Alam at the other side, but both are spectacular shot stoppers and very good organisers. And the consolation for Kampong, he's got Jonathan Kemdi and Gabriel Mutombo, as well as Danny Ting, who are all 6' plus in front of him. Jakapan, the experienced former Boram man, is providing the motivation for Ratchaburi. The job is, well, more than half done, even though we're only halfway through this tie. Persib will have such belief that if they can score an early goal, it will make such a difference. The reverse of that, of course, if Ratchaburi score, then it makes it well nigh impossible for Persib Bandung. Is in better condition than it actually looks on the TV screen. It looks very patchy, but it is green and it is pretty flat. Aesthetically not the most pleasing. Persib Bandung didn't have a match at the weekend, and so they've been able to focus some specific training on this, and be interested to see if Eliana Reinders will be giving a more free role in midfield. On the experienced goalkeeper. At the other end, Paco Alam has had a sensational season between the sticks, and he's keeping out more established and much more physically commanding goalkeepers. So all is set. Mission impossible for Persib Bandung. But as the sign says, nothing is impossible. AFC Champions League 2. We're in Bandung on Java. It is Persib Bandung in the blue versus the orange of Ratchaburi. Ratchaburi from Thailand leading by 3-0 after the first leg. Persib have got to score 3 in 90 minutes to take us to extra time. Is it possible? Reinders immediately on the attack, and the buzz of the crowd tells you the Baguinhos in possession. Jesse Curran does well. The Philippines international concedes the throw-in. Bandung want to get on with things quickly. Boyan Hodak. His team's generally renowned for stiff defence. That's why the concession of 3 was so unusual. And we've got to go back a long time to the last time that Ratchaburi were beaten by more than 3 goals, and that was an away match in the league at Buriram Christmas 14 months ago. Challenge there on William Barros. 2 is Franz Putros, who was playing for Port FC in the Thai league, so he'll know all about his opponents. This is Alfian Dodoa. Nice little triangles. They are a team that likes to play football, and if they can get Tana involved, he can control from the number 10 position. 7 is the Nielsen. Danny Ting. Back to Madumbo. French-born Congolese. Rodwood Shimaka. He's been in charge actually quite a long time. Rajaburi did go through a number of personnel changes at the coaching seat, but Rodwood has been here since 2024. Pakualam closed down there by Gleason. Patricio Chiccardi miscues there, the Argentine centre-back, under pressure. Ting beaten to the ball. This is Barros at pace. Outside of him is Andrew Jung. Barros once again. Jonathan Kemdi is over superbly. Really strong play by the Thai international. He came from Odense. He learned his football in Denmark, but born and bred in Thailand. Danny Ting actually used to play under the Persib coach, Boyan Hodak. Number 2 won the Malaysia Cup in Malaysia for Kuala Lumpur City. As that cross from Barros goes into the side netting. Changes of personnel for Bandung were designed for progression in the AFC Champions League. The fact that they came out qualifiers and then got through the group is a good sign, but the 3-0 loss wasn't on the agenda of the management behind the scenes of Persib. Barber's header. That's an awkward one for Matricardi. Has to make sure he gets power, and he does. Pakualam is there. Gleason was lurking just in case there was an under-hitting of the header. Federico Barber. Little foul. First foul of the match. Jadal Shamrani. Understated so far, and Jonathan Kemdi high up the pitch there. Interesting. Following Andrew Jung all the way. First 20 minutes will be crucial for Ratchaburi. Gueba beaten to it. Slip allows Tom Hay and Franz Putros. That was Franz Putros, the right back, lurking over at the left midfield area. Number 97, Baguinho. They do have some height. Tom Hay, Indonesian international. to curl this one in. Another of the recent signings, looks for Barber. There's a lot of congestion around goalkeeper Campon there. And it's headed in. That looks like it's offside though. 97 Bergino puts it into the back of the net, but credit Ratchaburi. They got out very, very quickly from their defensive positions. And when it bobbled about to Bergino, he was offside. This will tell us. Look at the 97. Just offside. Good defensive discipline from Ratchaburi though. We await the official verdict from VAR. And there it is in VAR. We've got Abdullah Arab from Kuwait and Sultan Sanat Al Harbi from Saudi Arabia. It's an early scare there for the visitors. Barber. Paku slides it in. Rangers is starting at right back, and that's a surprise. It's an attacking role. Andrew Jung, big centre forward. There is Reinders, and that means that Franz Boutros is starting in midfield. Ting. Hey. Boutros indeed. Barros. Oh, plenty of pressure and plenty of noise from the 28,000 crowd. It is a sellout. Campon flies it through, and that's comfortable for Machicardi, the Argentine. He wants to dominate things from the heart of midfield. A lovely ball out wide to William Barros. The Barros cross. Oh, he's been called offside. It's tight, but I think it's correct. Oh, a sign from Alpha Hale in July. Himself a couple of AFC Champions League goals. It's Persib's 9th match in this competition, having gone through the qualifier and the 6 group matches. All down the line, looks for the pace of Adam Alice. Hayes starts things off once again. The pressure from Gleeson. They're doing a good job for Ratchaburi. They're putting pressure on the ball playing back two from Persib Bandung. Putting pressure on Tom Hay as well. Nielsen coming into the back and not liking the fact that Hay went down a little bit too easily for his liking. Here's Barber, elegant, composed player. Far too much on that. I think he'll want Bergino to stay out wide. There's Bergino and Barros. Big, tall wingers. Once they get in their stride, very, very difficult to stop. Gicardi's header ahead of Gleason. Well, they'll want to take it in little spells, get through the first 10 minutes without conceding. It'll be objective number one. Then you look to hit the first quarter. Possession just in favour of Persib. Rajaburi, when they've had the ball, have been able to hold on to it. Hey, to Paku Alam, who's closed down very quickly. Did well to find Reinders. Adam Alice. And Alfiandra Dawa. Dawa strides forward, 24-year-old. Alice. Scored a couple of goals in a remarkable 3-2 win against Selangor in the group stages. Well, they came back from 2-0 down to win in at the MPBJ Stadium. Curran under pressure. Well, that's cleverly done. Well, Jesse Curran's played that beautifully. The Australian-born player who had some spells in Scotland with the likes of Dundee and the outpost of Montrose on loan. An established player in the Thai League and a Philippines international. Every time Ratchaburi take their time, the crowd howl their displeasure. Tim comes over from left back. Can launch this towards the front of the 6-yard box. Roberts header clear. And the foot is high. Although that effort goes wide, the foot was very high. May well, it's just a word with the experienced Critison. The 31-year-old has been with Ratchaburi for a decade. See a yellow card being flashed. No confirmation of one yet either. Once again, starting with Barber. Four by Reinders. Flick on. Right to the edge of his penalty area's Campon. Adam Alice it was making the breakthrough from midfield. That's what he's being brought in to do, to be the third man alongside the main striker. Reinders loses out to Danielson. Here's Tanner. First chance the Spaniards had. Matricardi is available. Tanner, lovely slid ball through. And Gleason can't get there, toe poked away. Tanner once again. Little dink over the top. But he is the danger man. Here's Tanner. Pedro Tanner, 35 years of age, but a real influence on the success that Ratchaburi are having at the moment. One ball down the line, looks for Buguinho. Dawa can't get there. Tanner once again, just clipped. It'll be a free kick against Hay. But trying to get down the right-hand side. Brazil under 20 international Ngueba. In Thailand for 4 years, signed in July from Lampung Warrior. In the meantime, came from Sion in August. There was speculation he was going to be leaving Bandung midway through the season, but he's on a long-term contract and he's now back settled. The best ball played in by Reinders. Second chance for Eliano. Another of the Dutch-born Indonesian internationals, heritage players, which is such a hot topic in Southeast Asia at the moment. Ting having to defend against Bagino. Corner kick. Second corner of the match for Persib. He had the ball in the back of the net from the first one. Disallowed for offside correctly. Hayes corner, dealt with at the near post by Danielson. Jakapan does well, he's still got the pace, Jakapan. Terrific player. Had 10 years of Buriram, real part of their success. Reinders getting in the way there of Machucardi. That was quite what was meant to be the clearance. Neither was that from Reinders. He's been playing in midfield recently, so there isn't a lot of understanding between the centre-back and the right-back. Free transfer, Reinders, from Dutch football. Done some great work in the transfer market, have Persib. So, to be fair, have Ratchaburi, and Danny Ting was a recent signing from Sabah. Long throw is dealt with expertly by Andrew Jung. The cross from Ting, not the best. He wants a corner. Might have a case here. It looked like there was a little flick on the way. Machucardi closed down. Hay has to be careful. Was caught very late. Referees played an advantage, and when there was none accruing, has called the game back. It was Jakapan who was coming in onto Tom Hay. So a couple of robust tackles have been put in. The referee has kept his cards in his pocket so far, so long as he's consistent. Hey, lovely ball. First touch from Fiandradawa let him down, and Weber did well enough to knock it off the young Indonesian. Another pre-season signing from PSIS Samarang. Going into Gleason. Barber went all the way with him. Ting hoiks it high. Thumping challenge from Mutombo. Too thumping. Ross saying that Gabriel Mutombo went in a little bit too physically. I don't think there's an elbow there. He's just jumped. And the arms are flailing once he's gone for the header. Big man, French-born. Very much part of the success story. He's been with the club since January of 24. So a couple of seasons. Gleason joined just last month from Uta Trinidad. Hay looks for the big Bandung men. Kampon is just caught, and the flag is up for offside anyway. Barros goes in unnecessarily here. It's not overly physical, but it's unnecessary. And it gives Campon the chance to just eat up a few seconds. That's good concentration. The closer you look at that from Campon. He's not the tallest goalkeeper. Did win international caps, but the international game is so physical now, even in Southeast Asia, dare I say it. Physicality is an important part of the makeup, certainly of your goalkeepers and your central defenders. Jakapan, not wide to Curran. Jakapan again. Loses out to Hay. That's a good battle. That'll be no card. Gosh, he's being very generous. Here's referee Al Shamrani. There's a definite talking to, though, to Jakapan. He looks bemused. Bandung still unable to get the breakthrough. The Ratchaburi have looked pretty solid, pretty composed. Matricardi out to Barber. Dua. Good running off the ball by 97 Berginho, gets to the byline, can't get the corner. Ting's done well, helped out by Denilson. Glayson's being asked to do an awful lot of chasing up against two centre-backs at the moment. Bandung had 2/3 of the ball in this opening quarter. Fiandra does well. Lining up the shot, it's just not sitting. Barros. Berginho. Comfortable for Campon. An excellent distribution, and there's a fast break on here. Look at Curran racing down the right-hand side in coverage of Ngueba. Ngueba goes on his own, and that'll be a corner from one end to the other. Campon, good hands, excellent delivery, and Ngueba ran and ran and ran. Terrific distribution. Alfiandra is always chasing, he's working hard. And Barber tries to show the Ratchaburi man out wide, who comes into the penalty area. Good cover in the end from Hay. First corner for Ratchaburi. The Dragons is the nickname. Plenty of bodies up for this corner. Plenty of big men as well. Jonathan Kemdi, Gleeson, Mutombo, and Danny Ting. All good in the air. Jakapan, capable of finding them. Kemdi's header floats up and onto the roof of the net. Taking a deflection of William Barros. This is Danny Ting. Keeper's got to come and claim, which he does. There's a man down with a head injury, so the referee going to stop this. Franz Boutros is the man who's hurting. Iraq international. Normally he plays at right back. He's got a role in the heart of midfield, a stopper role in the heart of midfield. As I say, he played for Port last year, so he'll know a lot of his opponents. Off Yandra. Kutros available in the middle. So is Hay, 33. A little bit ambitious, looking for Andrew Jung, and Andrew's not been able to get involved in the match. What a focus on Tom Hay in Amsterdam. Good signing from Almere City. Well, there's a lot of huff and puff from Persib Bandung. Kampong, the disallowed goal apart, has only had one real moment to scare him in this opening 26 minutes. Alice has done well. It'll be a throw-in, run expertly by Kritsanon Chisuan. Kutros loses out. Tanner. Barber, that's dangerous. Finds Tanner and Gleason. Hay is there to rescue Federico Barber from an embarrassing moment. Saw the danger as Tanner looked to pick out Gleason. And that's the second important challenge that Hay has made. Trots over to take this corner kick for Ratchaburi. Again, not the tallest of goalkeepers and being utterly crowded out. Look at that. Curled right in on towards the front post. Alice does well to clear. And he's outpaced by Curran. Is that going to be a corner? It is indeed. That's excellent play from Adam Alice. He's forced an error. It was there at the front post who got the first clearance in. Alice left to chase any hopeful ball, and that's exactly what he's done. At one end, turns into a corner at the other. Third corner called in by Hay. But just put off by Mutombo. Tana sweeps a lovely ball out to Ngueba. Look at the Nielsen's run. Reinders saw that and makes the clearance. Good awareness from Eliano Reinders. A terrific ball out from Tana. He really is quality. And then the flag is up for offside, I think, against Andrew Jung. Mutombo clears. Chicardi only finds Tanner. And this time the flag is up for offside against Ratchaburi. Al Shamrani calm amidst all the protests from the sidelines and the crowd. Quick to get on the officials back. It really is a home advantage, this home crowd. Reinders. Tumbo does well. Half an hour gone. Another little landmark ticks away for Ratchaburi, defending their 3-0 first leg league. Belted clear by Ngueba. Hey, team can just let that one run out for a goal kick. Two-thirds of the ball for Persib Bandung, but only 3 shots, one of which has been on target. And the disallowed goal, Rajaburi have kept them at arm's length for the most part. Hayes done well, gets away from Jakapan. Maguinho wants a second chance. Maguinho gets the second chance. Is there a cross coming in? He lost sight of where the ball was. Curran's able just to make the clearance, then give it away. Maguinho again. Needs to get something from this situation. Retains possession. Then Ratchaburi defend. They outnumber Persib Bandung. And that's a pull back, and that will be our first card. That was pretty cynical. Adam Alice picks up a yellow card. Can't be any real complaints about that one. Supporters will say Tana did something very similar. Sorry, Jakapan did something very similar to Tom Hay a few minutes ago, but this one was far more cynical. Other matches ongoing tonight in the AFC Champions League. Tampines Rovers 0, Kongan Hanoi 0. Hanoi won the first leg 4-0, but that was reversed because they played ineligible players. So Tampines awarded a 3-0 win. Hanoi having to do what Bandung are having to do, come from 3-0 down, and they also finding it very difficult. Kampong, number 99, takes as much time as he can. Alam. Ooh, dangerous. There is pressure on them. Any miscontrol. Rajaburi have got the quality to make them pay. Barros wants to take over once again. Hey. Pull back from Gleason. The referee, having just dished out 1 yellow card for a pullback, has no option but to give Gleason a yellow card. Well, he was patient as long as he could be, was the Saudi referee. Fair enough, if you're giving the first one, you've got to give the second. So Gleason has a statistic, statted rather like, is a goal. He scored 2 in 5 league games. Played into Jung. Now then, Barros goes for goal. Difficult angle and being closed down by Danny Ting. Plenty of energy from the home side. It's predominantly defence that's been the main focus of Persib Bandung's success this year. Clean sheets galore. So scoring 3 is a big ask. Spin and turn, that's better. It's a weak shot that comes in from Begino. Went for the little give and go. 2 wide men playing a little bit closer to Andrew Jung now. You can see the 4 there, Adam Alice playing very much as a number 10. Tross with the block on Danielson. Free kick. That lack of goals for Persib Bandung, you've got to go back to December when they last scored 3 in a game. They beat Borneo 3-1. Before they'd put 4 past Madura United. Here's Tanner. John will chase, Mutombo. Safety first. Barber. Dua. Nowhere to go. 2 wide players for Ratchaburi have defended well. Weber down the right-hand side. And Nielsen down this left-hand side. Cardi. Reinders hasn't had a chance to get forward as I think he would have liked to. Boutros. Hay drives forward. Rajaburi retreat and Tom Hay thinks of the shot. Here is Reinders. Boutros having to be patient. 7 minutes to half time. Poor first touch. Lovely ball to the far post. That was Adam Alice, and now here's Andrew Jung. Looks for Tom Hay. Hay, shot is blocked. Closest we've come to a goal. Boutros keeps the pressure up. Here is Alice once again. So nearly sneaked in at the far post. Doa. And loses out. Comfortable for Eliano Reinders. Barros on the right-hand side. I do feel Persib need a goal before half-time if they are to produce the most unlikely of results. Alfiandra. Kendi is there, and the opening goal! Andrew Jung! Flag is up for a foul or for offside. Now this will be close. I don't think it's Jung who's offside. If anyone, it'll be the run down the left-hand side of Alfiandra Doa. Ooh, that is mighty close. It's a fine finish from Andrew Jung. Boyan can't believe it. He'll be hoping that VAR is able to rescue his side here. It is incredibly close. They'll be drawing lines in VAR. Sultan Sanat Al Harbi and Abdullah Arab from Saudi Arabia and Kuwait are checking as we speak to see if Andrew Jung has scored the opening goal. Jesse Curran, meantime, is injured, and this will be a long check. Television protocol says that we're not supposed to be showing replays until the decision is made. On first look, that was mighty close, and even on the one replay that we did have in old school before VAR, I suspect that's allowed. Everybody has an opinion, but it's the opinion of the two men in the VAR room that matters at the moment. The goal is scored. He was level. Terrific work down the left-hand side by Alfiandro Doa, and put in by Andrew Jung, and Persib Bandung. We have liftoff. Is that when the ball is played? I think they need to roll on just a little bit more. Terrific play from the left back. Jung's 5th AFC Champions League 2 goal. He's been an ever-present. Well, there's still a delay. Nothing is impossible. I said this crowd believe. Ratchaburi have really played this very well thus far. Feverish, the atmosphere. There's not a lot in that. Ngueba, he's just competing with the ball with William Barros, but in this fever pitch atmosphere. Barber keeps his cool. Persib, 1/3 of the job is done. Lovely ball. Jonathan Kemdy hoiks it high into the Java sky. Gleason, oh, a defensive header. Goalkeeper can't pick this one up. Little dink forward. And Gleason will chase, and he's got the pace. So does Matricardi, but Gleason gets there before the Argentine. Looks for Tana. Not had a real impact on the game, Tana. And closed down by Patricio Matricardi. Persib Bandung 1, Ratchaburi 0. Into approaching time added on at the end of the first half. Ratchaburi deciding, let's just retain possession, keep hold of the ball for 10, 15 seconds. Just calm the atmosphere down a little bit. Here's Tana. Heads into the corner. Ting. Lovely work from Danny Ting. Up against Elio Reinders and wins the corner. That's brilliant play from Chester-born Danny Ting. Malaysian heritage player. Well, with this atmosphere, Now will be the perfect time for Ratchaburi to score. Cleared by Barber in front of his goalkeeper. Comes to Barros. Alice is allowed to run on, is Adam Alice. No, he's not. It was a little trip. Been a good addition to this squad has Adam Alice. Just catches Jesse Curran's heels. It's a foul. Reinders. From his wallet, 25-year-old. Lovely work from Gleason. Tana. Weber. Muscled out of it. Well done by Beguinho. Throwing goes to Rajaburi. Team's long throw. Oh, there's indecision! And what an important save that is from Teja Pakualam. Down at the feet of Danielson. Indecision at the back from Bandung. They cannot afford to concede. Now they're on the attack again. It's 4v4. Once again, it's Stewart overlapping. Dumbo's clearance. Alice picks it up. Eliano Reinders. Hayes switches out wide. Beguinho. Young. Edge of the penalty area, poured away. Beguinho picks up the second ball. Alice. Campon does really well, attacks the ball. Ahead of Andrew Jung, and Mutombo is in there as well. That's excellent goalkeeping. It's a lovely ball in by Adam Alice. 3 of the 5 minutes added on at the end of the first half have elapsed. Bandung chasing a second goal. Campon under intense pressure. Foul's been given against Beguinho there, but he's got every right to go for that. That's a straight challenge from Beguinho onto Campon. It's a good ball in. It asks questions of the keeper. He's done well. It is a foul, but it's no more than that. That's the earlier save from Campon. Tom Hay at the edge of the penalty area. It was the appeal for a handball, which wouldn't have been a penalty. And here's the goal. Jung reacts very quickly. That's excellent goal poaching. It's the work at left back by Alfiandra Duanga. Tight as you like, but it gives Bandung a little bit of hope. Thumping header from Ting. They say good players thrive in these kind of hostile atmospheres. And it is hostile for Ratchaburi. Looks for Tana down the line. Begino. Jacobham expertly placed. Trisawan. Tana on the edge of the penalty area, nearly found a way through. Jonathan Kemby is over just to get there ahead of Barros, who's made the challenge, and hey, it's a foul. And is that a straight red? It is a straight red for William Barros for a foul on Jonathan Kemby. Well, the desperation to win the ball back here. Referee has had... VAR might come and have a look at this. Oh no, maybe not. He's caught him right on the Achilles, on the right Achilles. Jonathan Kemby goes down. The intention from Barros, I think, is to block. But the actual end result is that his studs are up against the Achilles of Jonathan Kemby. And if the atmosphere wasn't feverish enough, it's just gone up a notch. Persib having just scored, this will be a red card. I can't see any way in this is in way this is going to be overturned. Federico Barber and Boyan. Trying to talk their way out of it. It's a 2026 red card. 5 years ago, I don't think it is, but with the law changes for the referees, the fact that the studs are high onto the Achilles of Jonathan Kemby. Well, he's not renowned for producing red cards. It's one in every 7 games throughout his career, which is approaching 150 or so top-flight matches. But with the current laws for referees, I do think he has no choice there. That is a red card. In defence of Barros, I don't think there's any real intent to hurt the man. But the studs are high. He's caught the Achilles. It is dangerous, it does endanger an opponent. And that, according to the laws, says red card. Here's some earlier action as we just try to calm ourselves down. It will be a red card for William Barros. So it's going to be 10 men chasing 2 goals. Jonathan Kemby still receiving treatment. So it's 10 v 10 for the remaining few seconds of this, well, chaotic first 45 minutes. Minders finds Tom Hay. Hay again. Crowd urging Bandung forward. On the outside is Alfiandra once again. Edge of the box is Alice. Hay. Trying to set up a shot. Tom Hay. That will be deflected for a corner kick. And there won't be time to take this corner kick. Well, a chaotic first 45 minutes ends with Persib Bandung holding a 1-0 lead, courtesy Andrew Jung's goal. But a red card, a straight red card, a justified straight red card against William Barros. Means that Ratchaburi, despite being behind, are still in firm control of this AFC Champions League 2 contest. Jonathan Kemdy is being helped off. Persib emotional, but leading, and yet losing. Nothing is impossible, says the sign. Half-time, Persib Bandung 1, Rajaburi FC 0. What a contest. Bandung, the Gelora Bandung, Lautan Api. We are on Java, AFC Champions League 2. Round of 16 clash, second leg. Ratchaburi in shot, trailing 1-0 in this leg, but leading 3-1 on aggregate overall against the Persib Bandung side, who scored just before half-time through Andrew Jung, but were then reduced to 10 men with a straight red card for William Barros for an attempted block that actually caused quite a serious injury to Jonathan Kemdi. Response for Persib Bandung will be to bring on the wonderfully named Beckham Putra as attacking support for Beguinho and Andrew Jung. But it really is a huge task now for the 10 men of Persib. Back-to-back championships in Indonesia, up against the Ratchaburi side, who are currently second in the Thai league. And for the most part resisted, not comfortably, but resisted competently the pressure put on them by Bandung. Former French international Levin Kozawa, a recent signing from Bovis. Jung's goal on 40 minutes. Persib Bandung had chances of their own. Gleason was strong, so then the changes. Kazawa is on for Malafiandra. What a signing that is, by the way. And Beckham Putra comes on to add support up top. Change also for Ratchaburi. I see the introduction of number 8, Tanawat. AFC Champions League 2, second half of the second leg. Persib, champions of Indonesia, leading by a goal to 0 against Ratchaburi, currently second place in the Thai league. Bandung though down to 10 men and needing 2 goals just to take this to extra time. The odds very much in favour of Ratchaburi. And they've got the players to maybe just keep this nice and tight, particularly if Tana can get on the ball, and holding possession will be a key factor. Oh, all the odds are against Bandung, it's not impossible. And another goal will get the crowd very much on their side, not that they aren't already. Adam Alice replaced by Beckham Putra. Comes in just to help things out in midfield. Tana, a little bit ambitious from the Spaniard. I was wondering if Persib were going to switch to a back three, because I was taking a forward position. Tom Hay spreads it out wide to the Argentine, Patricio Machicardi. Pakualam, who made a vital intervention just after the goal from Andrew Jung, diving at the feet of Ngueba. All over the top. That's Beguinho. Strong challenge coming in from Matumbo. Mutombo. Big, strong, powerful presence. They're a strong, powerful team, are Ratchaburi. Jung beaten in the air. Putra uses out to Curran. There's a clash of heads. Referee's instantly seen that. Gleason is one of the men down. So while the injuries are being addressed, team lineups for Boyan Hodak's team. Tejo Pakualam in goal. Defensively, Putra, Reinders, Machikari, Barber, and now Kazawa. Hay and Putros in midfield with Beckham, Putra, Andrew Jung, and Baguinho as the three front players. And there's the clash. It's Patricio Machikari going through onto the back of Gleason. Both men got every right to go for that ball. Machikari got there first and Gleason caught him just after. As for Ratchaburi, Campon in goal, Curran, Mutombo, Kemdi and Danny Ting along the back. Jonathan Kemdi, glad to say, recovered from the injury that saw the red card for William Barros. Tritsanon. Now Tanawat in the heart of midfield. Tanawat on for Jacopan. Ngueba, Tana, Danielson and Gleason leading the line. Beckham Putra's done well. He's won the ball back from Tana. Here is Beckham. Lovely ball. Looks for and finds Kozawa. First touch for the Frenchman. Ball in from Kazawa is a good one. Well defended. Hay picks it up at the edge of the penalty area. Beckham Putra, Kazawa, second chance. The best ball in by Beckham. And Kazawa's won a corner. Having Kazawa, 100 games for Paris Saint-Germain, 14 French international caps. Jesse Curran can't believe a corner's been given against him. It's a little bit of unnecessary pressure from the fullback. Now then, what kind of a corner can Tom Hay put in? It's 10 against 11. They need 2 goals. Ooh, the header is just wide from Barber, of all players. If he puts that on target, the roof would come off this venue. Oh, he gets there ahead of Gabriel Mutombo. Jonathan Kemdi. Flag is up for offside. Free kick for Persib. And despite being down to 10 men, continue to try to take the game to Ratchaburi. Hey. Barber. Beckham. He has Machikari going wide. Reinders takes on Danny Ting. Danny Ting calm enough to get the better of the Dutch-born player. He's a brother playing for Manchester City in England. Not far from where Ting was born, in Chester. Here's Reinders. Hay. It's just a little bit short. Lovely idea from Tom Hay. Might get a second chance. Kazawa does well. Just mops up, comes in from left back. Awareness of the situation there from Levin Kazawa. Beckham Putra takes his eye off the ball. For those wondering, yes, named after only David Beckham his hero, or his parents' hero. Tana wriggles clear. Does that one so well, does Tana. Switch wide. Danielson. Reinders does well. Jacardi is there. Rajaburi retained possession. Ngueba. Curran. They don't need to go for this. Ratchaburi. This is precisely the kind of play that you'd think is exactly what Coach Woodward is after. Hold on to the ball as much as you can. Andrew Jung, score of the goal. Beckham's made a run down the left. Here is Beckham Putra. Cuts inside, exciting winger Beckham. Maybe slightly short. Reinders ball over the top, looking for Andrew Jung. It's a nice idea. At his height, climbing at the back post was what Reinders was looking for. Just gets the angle wrong. Jonathan Kemdy in the background there. He's not moving too easily. He will be feeling that thump that he got on his Achilles, but despite having players who could replace him on the bench, there is no replacement. Now, here's the danger facing Persib. The breakaway for Gabriel Mutombo, scorer of one of the goals in the first leg. Yeah, it was 1-0 at half-time as well. Ratchaburi scored twice in the second half. They had 11. Chusuan, and the foul against Curran. The match is going on. Tampines Rovers 2, Kongan Hanoi 0. That after a 4-0 first leg loss for Tampines. It was reversed. Here's Kozawa. Drives the ball in. Jonathan Kemdy deals with it. Tana onto Ngueba. Again, ball retention very good. They're very neat and tidy. Srisawan onto Gabriel Mutombo. You can see why they're high up the league in Thailand. A long way behind league leaders Buriram United. Continue to fly the flag for Thai football and Southeast Asian football. Got through to the knockout stage of the AFC Champions League Elite. Ratchaburi alongside the likes of Bangkok and BG Pathum United. Real battle for second best in Thailand. Jacardi. Reinders asks Beckham to do an awful lot of work. The intention was good, but there isn't that much space when you're 10v11. You've got to make sure the passes are absolutely spot on. Did well. The winner of this contest will take on the winner of the Gamba Osaka versus Pohang round of 16 match, playoff match. 1-1 from the first leg. Second leg takes place tomorrow in Osaka, Japan. Kozawa tries to fool Ngueba. Brazilian having any of that. Hey, again Ngueba defends well. Tana is there, can run into space. Tana he's good enough to use that space. Gleason, switch wide to Danielson. Danielson cuts inside Reinders. Little dink over the top. Jorginho, mazy dribble, but plenty of orange shirts back. Kurzawa gives the ball away, and then Jonathan Kemdy, a little push from Kemdy. Actually, Jesse Curran. Made the interception, and yeah, there's contact. It's a foul. Remains Persib 1, Ratchaburi 0. Approaching the hour. Hey. Still the crowd are urging them on. High line as Hay curls that one in. Campon is beaten and put away for a corner by Danny Ting. Again, he's not the tallest, the goalkeeper. Wasn't powerful when he came for this cross, and he's actually beaten in the air by his own player, Gabriel Mutombo. Fifth corner, first this second half for Persib. Kurzawa! Oof. He went over Jung. Kurzawa got the header in. That was on target until it was deflected over by Jesse Curran. Good ball played in. Machukadi, Jung, Jorginho, Kurzawa, all in the penalty area. This is Federico Barba, Beckham Putra lurking on the outside. Dealt with by Danielson. Kleinders has a chance to put it straight back in. That time dealt with by Mutombo. They're good enough to deal with high balls into the penalty area. And that's going to be a yellow card for Jung. Knew exactly what he was doing. As they say, he'll take one for the team there. Otherwise, Danielson was away on his own. Jung hasn't got the pace, and we saw there a little bit of skullduggery. Saw Pedro Tana was taken out of the game as well. So the yellow card for Andrew Jung. Already had a red card for Persib. The home match of the weekend against Pasita as they try to stay at the top of the standings. Be hoping. It is just a hope at the moment. They'll be hoping that they're still in the AFC Champions League too, but to do that, the 10 men have to score 2 goals at least, just to take us to extra time. And this kind of play from Ratchaburi, keeping the ball compact. Shisowan gives the ball away. Tana. He just brings it out wide to Reinders. Reinders loses out. Ting is in there ahead of Jorginho. Ting again. Steady player, Danny Ting. Tanawat Just keeps things moving. Tanawat once again. Established a good little squad, Ratchaburi. A couple of important signings in January to help them with the busy second half of the season. Tanawat. Shisawan. Tanawat. The extra man. You can play the ball around like this. Rujung. As Kemdi. Kazar is in late. Referee thinks. It's Weber who felt the wrath of the former French international. Maybe when he started his career, those kind of challenges as welcomes are allowed, not anymore. Kick that time against Beckham Putra, the same player. Now beginning to get frustrated. Bandung beginning to get frustrated. The Dragons game managing this one pretty well. Weber. Beckham did really well, somehow emerging with the ball, Beckham Putra. Hey, some challenge coming in there from Shisawan. One of those 100% players is Shisawan. Header. Alam's long ball, jungle the target. Again, Mutombo imperious. A little foul from Andrew Jung as he competed with Gabriel Mutombo. Frenchman on Frenchman. Just makes a back for Gabriel Mutombo. That's a foul. Hayes done well. Here's Jung. Beckham to his left. Andrew Jung goes on his own. Mutombo does really well. A little bit indecisive, but the defensive work was excellent there from Ratchaburi. They got back covering, and Mutombo closed down the options for Andrew Jung. Change for Ratchaburi, or maybe not. Look at the clock for Boyan Hodak. Alam. Jung. Ting has to be careful, and was. Pressure from Baguinho. Campon's made a couple of important saves. Didn't have any chance with the one goal that did beat him from Andrew Jung on 40 minutes. Beckham. The target. He's got forward an awful lot on this left-hand side. Hasn't played many matches since he moved to Indonesia. The first leg in Thailand was his debut. Change on the cards for Persib Bandung. Tries to chase, just being held up by Ratchaburi. The keeper's gone down, suggesting there's a little pull to his groin, and that might just change things. Tank is preparing to come on. This is Sergio Castel, recent signing from Limassol.
Replaced by player number 17, Sergio Castel, and player number 19, Andrew Yu, replaced by player number 98, Tanke.
Castel and Tanke, two attacking options. It's Persib, the 10 men, tried to score twice. The red card really has changed everything here. It was a justified red card. That's not a go at the referee in any way, shape or form. There's a dangerous tackle coming in from William Barros, but as it came right before half-time and just after Persib had scored the only goal, it punctured the atmosphere, it punctured the mood, it punctured the optimism of Persib Bandung. Catch us on the AFC Live app and AFC.com for previews and reviews of everything to do with AFC Champions League 2 and AFC Champions League Elite. Mason just gets the better of Machikadi. Ting bundled off the ball. Tanner. Kazawa is in quickly. And as this game goes on, Ratchaburi increasing their threat to score. Jakardi needing route one defensive work there. Tanner and Ting. Behind Gleason, Kazawa didn't get a call, so he cleared rather hurriedly. Sergio couldn't keep that in play. Nielsen wins a corner. Rajaburi edging towards the next round. A tie against either Pohang or Gamba Osaka. Tampines Rovers leading Kongan Hanoi by 3-1. 6-1 aggregate lead now. Here a corner to defend for Persib. A goal for Ratchaburi now would virtually end this contest. Kozawa right in front of his own goal line. Kutros help clear. Ball from Ting, well defended by Barber. And then Tana tries to get a little touch on. Pakualam launches long. Ramontanke up against Kemdi. Beckham Putra is there. Still Beckham. Tanke far post. Beckham can get across him. Ting is covering. Cross does come in, it'll be a corner. Excellent work from Beckham Putra. He's been very bright since he came on at half-time. Hayes corner. Kampong rises highest. There's some bundling over in the penalty area. Tana goes down. Referee sees a foul. Free kick. Yeah, it's Federico Barber. "16 minutes. They say nothing is impossible. This is just about impossible." Putros plays it forward, looks for Sergio. Left a little bit late. Referee's okay with that. Takari. Barber. Kazawa edging forward just to try to add a little bit of physicality up front. And they're going back to front. Beckham Putra. Kazawa! What a save! Oh, that was the moment. And it was Kazawa coming through. The left back made the first touch, and his knee is wonderfully touched over. Great agility from Kampong. Now the ball comes in. Ramontanke leaves it to Barber. Beckham, edge of the penalty area. Tom Hay, the block is in, and Reinders slams high over. Persib wanting a free kick for the challenge on Beckham Putra before Reinders' shot. They're also claiming that hands are up from Kritsanon Trisawan. Referee right on point. He's handled a potentially difficult match well, the referee. 13 shots to 3 in favour of Persib Bandung. Only 1 goal to 0 though. Tanawata. Ting against Sergio. Sergio's little pull, free kick. Ratchaburi. On his way down, but helped. Wonderful save from Kampong. A goal then for Kazawa and Bandung, and it would have set up a really intense last 15 minutes. Tana. Caught late by Machicardi. A yellow card for the Argentine. got it. Ting. That's a little bit short. Kampong under pressure from Beckham. Tana's little drop pass. Switch over to Curran. Agueba still. That'll break out for a corner kick. Sixth corner of the contest for the visitors from Ratchaburi, who trail 1-0 but lead 3-1 on aggregate. And just play a little bit of keep ball. Tanawat, long range effort, a little bit wasteful. That's a better ball in. Dealt with by Matricardi. Sergio Castel. Amontanke. Urged forward, Beckham to his left. Here is Beckham Putra. 4 shirts in the penalty area. If Beckham can pick one out, he can't. He'll only pick out Gabriel Matumbo. Here's Kazawa. Beckham. Kazawa again. Finds a little bit of space. Too close to the goalkeeper. Approaching the final 10 minutes. Hay still driving forward. Amontanke available, far post. Hay goes inside, edge of the penalty area is Beckham Putra. Beckham into a wall of orange shirts. Tana is available as an outlet. Curran goes outside of him. There is Jesse Curran. Gleason in the penalty area. Curran finds Tana, who can't finish. Scored twice in the first leg. He's the difference. That's broken to Hay, who's been outstanding. Beckham, really open game now. Beckham Putra. Cross comes in. Kampong, great hands. Oh, that's excellent goalkeeping from Kampong. He's been really solid. The save from Kazawa. And now holding on to that devilishly difficult ball into the penalty area. Danielson drives forward. Tanawat. They don't need the win. They don't need the goal. They may as well play a little bit of keep ball. Luciano Goycochea is preparing to come on. Tanawat. It's a really good play from Ratchaburi. And Gleason finds Tana. Shoots wide. But they held on to the ball for 45 seconds plus. Frustrating Persib Bandung. And for once the crowd is quiet. The change is Tom Hay, who's run himself into the ground. Goycochea comes on. Signing from the Malaysia Super League, Perak. And Siwakong comes on to replace the ever-reliable Kritsanom Shinsawan. And Agueba also to be replaced. And the danger is on. And the substitute is involved straight away. Niva. Madagascan striker comes on. Scores better than a goal every other game since he joined the club in January 2023. At the end of the first leg, Federico Barba asked the Persib fans to believe. Now the emotion comes into play. One or two plastic bottles being thrown onto the pitch. It's not what you need. Tanner's cross cleared. Tanke will chase. Kampon will clear. And that is onside. Matricardi is back to make an excellent interception. And then the second chance is flashed wide by Danielson. Well, they've had their moments late on. And inevitably, Bandung looking a little bit ragged, a little bit tired. They played with 10 men for all of this second half. And eventually it catches up. Plus the emotion of the occasion, plus chasing the game. Kachia thought that he'd won either the free kick or the throw-in from Tanawat. Received neither. Tanner onto Curran. Very mature performance from Ratchaburi. Tanawat. Tanner. Slides it in, looks for Niva. Curran is beaten to the punch. Tanke surrounded by two. That'll be a free kick to Persib. Tanke. Now the damage done in the second half of the first leg. Goes from Mutombo and Tana. Too much to overcome, or is it? That flashes just wide. Oh. Matricardi needed to take 2 or 3 looks just to see who that was. Was so unused to seeing Patricio Matricardi in those attacking positions. That's not far wide. They've had their moments. The Kozawa chance that was brilliantly touched over. That volley just wide. Free finally says to Kampon, get on with things. 3 minutes remaining. Sergio. It's done well. Reinders. Dropped in looking for Raman Tanke. Niva was there. Sergio looks for Reinders. Ricardo. Long range effort. We'll be talking about it forever and a day if Federico Barber scores from there. It actually just tells you how ambitious the effort was. Clean strike, Campon. Very aware of it. And Boyan Hodak. Well, he will have hoped that the comeback was possible. And comebacks are possible. And at 1-0, if you're 11 versus 11, maybe, but not as soon as the red card for William Barros. Whoever takes on Ratchaburi in the next round, be it Pohang or Gamba, they may be favourites, but they won't find it easy. I say that because Ratchaburi have strengthened since the first leg, and Gleason has gone down injured. Referee going to have to stop Ratchaburi. To their credit, haven't resorted to time-wasting tactics. Actually inadvertently caught the back of the heel there of Tana. Beckham Putra, 4 to aim for, must get a cross in. Beckham Putra to the byline, wins a corner off Jesse Curran. A solid game, the Aussie-born Filipino. Just to confirm, it was Tom Hay who picked up a yellow card earlier on, not Patricio Machicardi. Apologies. Kuikachir prepares to take the corner. 5 minutes for the impossible to happen. Here is Machicardi. Can't keep the ball in play. It's been a brave effort from Persib. It's been a professional performance by Ratchaburi. Foot is high. Free kick for Ratchaburi. Quick cheer. That hits Iwakon, there's no real damage done. But it's the job just about done now for Ratchaburi. The substitution, Tana goes off over on the far side. Coming on to your screen. Let's see. Addison Promrak. It's a defensive change for Ratchaburi. You can see Addison, he's gone straight on to the right-hand side of a back three, so 5 at the back now. Just to ensure that there isn't a real sting in the tail. Montanke turns, can't get the better of Mutombo, who's been outstanding. Nibia chases, Barber does enough. Riccardi drives forward. Referee plays an advantage that is really an advantage for Bandung. Beckham. Curran's tackle. That's good strength from Nivea. Reinders does well. Mariano Reinders drives forward. Well, they've given their all in this second half, Persib Bandung. Chikari to Kazawa. If only his effort had gone in rather than being superbly tipped over by Kampong. He could still be chasing this. Reinders ball in. Comfortable for Jonathan Kemdi. Chikari, 2 minutes remain. Goikachia. Too many tangerine shirts there. And can he keep it in play? The answer for Dan Nielsen is no. Beckham. Kampong comes and claims. Puts the exclamation point on an authoritative performance. Some solid saves, one outstanding save, some excellent handling from Kampong. And that's good distribution once again. Gleason. Neva doesn't want to take it on his own, but Curran is there, and if Curran can cross, there's a tap in on the far post. Brilliant save. Clean sheet is maintained. At least they'll have the consolation of a victory with that save from Paku Alam. And the free kick as the clock ticks down. Still Bandung try to drive forward. Ting versus Tanke. Good ball in from Raman Tanke. Excellent block. Mutombo again. Gleason. You can see there exactly what Fram Putros has done, and it's 2 versus 1. Danielson. Still Danielson. Still Danielson. Time for Neva. Legs have gone for the Bandung defenders, but they somehow hold on. Final whistle goes. It's a brave effort by the 10 men of Persib Bandung. They've won the game by 1-0. But it's Ratchaburi whose first leg work was enough to see them through on a 3-1 aggregate. Andrew Jung scoring the only goal just before half-time. Ratchaburi defended excellently, could have scored on the breakaway late on. Bandung gave it their all, but they are eliminated in the playoff of the AFC Champions League 2. All their change of personnel have produced not an improved performance in Asia. They must now resume their league campaign where they are top of the table, a point clear. But for Federica Barber and co, the Asian dream is over. Nothing is impossible. Sadly, this was. It's finished here in Bandung. Persib Bandung 1, Rajaburi 0. Ratchaburi from Thailand win 3-1 on aggregate.
Kita saling mengingatkan, kita saling mengadili. Sok kalinya Persib. Iya. Kita memang tidak lolos ke babak 8 besar, tapi tidak lolos ke perempat dan kita bisa melakukan pertandingan pada malam hari ini dengan dan yang terjadi man of the match pemain terbaik pada laga malam hari ini jatuh kepada pemain Persib Bandung nomor 20 Andrew Yu.
Andrew, how important was it to score in the first half today?
You know, it was important to score, but after we lost the game, we lost the round, then it's not good, you know.
Okay, how was it to play with a man short in the second half?
No, it was difficult. We know that the game will be difficult. Now 10 against 11 is even more difficult, but I think we fight until the end, you know.
Okay, thank you, Andrew. Thank you.
Yeah, but I cannot go. Look. Where? They will kill me.